Hey Julia, my name is Vegard Bangritlin, and I'm now standing outside of the Lundgren Event Center, where Katrina Karkazis is talking about intersex, gender testing on athletes, and the ethics around it. Let's go see what she has to say about this.
But that it's a hypothetical benefit that has to be weighed against the harm.
In her book, Fixing Sex, Katrina Karkazis discusses her research about intersex and how it is understood and treated in today's society. Intersex is a general term that is used for a person born with a sexual anatomy that does not fit the typical definitions of their gender.
It's something that you're born with. Sometimes there is a way that your body looks when you're born that will give an immediate signal. Your genitalia perhaps don't look typical. Sometimes it shows up in early ages, sometimes it shows up at puberty or adolescence, and it really depends on which sort of intersex trait that you're talking about.
Her current research, supported by the National Science Foundation and Boucher Foundation, challenges sex testing policies aimed at elite female athletes.
The International Association of Athletics Federations, which governs track and field, and the International Olympic Committee came out with new policies that don't exclusively affect intersex women, but absolutely have a detrimental effect on that population. And I feel women more generally who are elite athletes. So I took that knowledge and applied it to a new area, which was sport policy at the highest level.
In 2015, Karkazis helped Indian sprinter Duty Chand to build a successful appeal against track and field sex testing regulations at the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Chand was banned from competing against women because of having too high of natural levels of testosterone.
She couldn't go because they were applying this policy that says, if you're a woman, but you have higher than typical natural testosterone levels, the argument that the sports governing bodies have made is that that gives these women an unfair advantage. The problem with lowering it is that these interventions are not insignificant, they're severe. They're surgery, they're drugs, they have very debilitating side effects in the short term and the long term.
Karkazis' presentation caused reactions among the students. When asked about the ethical aspect of gender testing in athletes, they had this to say.
Boxing people out because of abnormalities or just not reaching the point in the bell curve that is desired is, I believe that is injustice.
I think it's completely ridiculous. I think people are born a certain way, and that's how they are, and they should be able to do what they love, whether or not science is showing one thing or the other.
You've got people in sport, from the athletes to the trainers to the coaches to sports policy people, looking at women's bodies trying to figure out, well, does she have high T? And if so, should we investigate her? And these are not benign investigations. They're like genital exams, they're MRIs, they're deeply psychologically shattering because all of a sudden the sense is that somehow you're not a woman or not woman enough.
Intersex and gender testing is something that people don't talk about that much in general, so it's a good thing that Katrina Karkazis is promoting the topic and giving it attention so that people are aware of the dilemma around it. This is Vegard Bangritlin, now back to the studio.